everybody. Welcome back to night two this week of Spotlight on Amputee series. Tonight is a very, very, very special show. Something I've been wanting to do for a long while, and we were supposed to do it last week, and we had some hiccups, some technical issues, that kind of thing, and ended up having to put it off. Like I said, Tuesday, I was just like my computer all of a sudden wanted to start running updates like rapid fire, just boom, 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 one right after the other. So I didn't have a chance to do it, and we kind of just scrubbed it and decided we're going to do it tonight. So we were actually going to do it Saturday, and then we had some more issues and just couldn't do it. So tonight we're here, and this is again, this is going to be something really, really cool for you guys. Chevy is somebody who's been on the show before, I think two or three times actually, and yeah, he's a really, really cool guy, man. Somebody who I look up to, and he's been an amputee for many years, and he's going to tell a little bit about his story. And if you guys haven't met Chevy before or don't know who he is, he suffered a mining accident, and it caused him to lose his leg. Again, I don't really like telling other people's stories. I like letting them tell their own stories, and we're going to let him tell his story tonight, and along with some amazing, amazing stories that he has about drag racing and just other cool stuff along the way. So, without further ado, I want to introduce my good friend to the new guys that aren't, that have never met Chevy before. I want to introduce you guys to my buddy, Mr. Chevy Triple Nickel. What's up,
Hello,
brother?
hello, hello, hello.
How you doing?
Doing great, doing great. How about yourself?
Man, I'm here. I'm breathing. My heart's beating. We're here. My daughter's in there laughing. My wife's in there playing with her. So hey, we're good.
Hey, that's what makes the world go round.
Absolutely, absolutely. I can hear them in there cutting up about something. So who knows? Let's say what's up to some folks real quick. We got five folks in here anyway coming in. We'll have some more trickle in a little bit here and there. Mr. Backwoods 3030, my brother, good seeing you. Mr. James Collins, always good seeing you, my friend. Pigeon Mac, my buddy. And whoever else is lurking in the bushes. It's good seeing you guys. Thank y'all for coming and hanging out with us tonight.
Yes, thank you all.
Absolutely. So, Mr. Chevy, I was telling a little bit about, your story, that kind of thing. And, to the people that have never met you, the people that don't know Mr. Chevy, Chevy Triple Nickel, and your story, would you mind reiterating just a little bit about how you lost your limb and how you joined us in the amputee world? Just a brief little synopsis for, kind of overview of what the people don't know.
Just a little short
There you
part of
go. Yeah. A snippet, if you will.
it. Well, I worked underground in the coal mines for quite a few years, and I went to work on November 28, 2011. And about an hour before quitting time, I was running a continuous miner, which cuts the coal, and a shuttle car, which hauls the coal. After I'd loaded him, he had pulled out, went up a little hill behind me, and had his wheels cut to go around the corner. So I turned back around and started cutting for the next car. And the next thing I know, I'm getting crushed from behind. Therefore, it took the leg off, my right leg off, below the knee, and broke my left one in about 18 places. So that's how I've become the part of the amputee world in a little short synopsis.
Right. And if you guys want to hear the full story, which I highly recommend, I'll put the link to his very first episode where he came on and told us the full story and everything. Tonight we're here to talk about drag racing and other cool shit like that. So, but if you guys want to hear the full story, then I'll put that link in there and you guys go back and check out that episode. It's wild to say the least. We've had some pretty crazy stories on here, and that definitely goes up there in the top three. I'll say that.
Man, I know my
So
lighting is off. And I'm sorry about that. My
it
screen's
makes
not
you
on
more.
to shine on me.
You look mysterious. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
just
So
like I wonder who that is in there. Can you see?
what's up, Matty Marinara? How you doing, brother? Miss Denise, good seeing you.
What's up, Maddie? Denise?
That's awesome. So how did you get into the let's just jump straight into it. I mean, were you drag racing beforehand? I would assume so.
Well, yeah, I was drag racing years before. Uh, when my son, which is 27 now, he was probably, well, 4 or 5 years old. I had built a little truck, a little S10. It was
Okay.
racing, back then, but then, life gets in the way and work gets in the way. So I just stored the little truck for a while and it sit and sit and sit. So I ended up selling it and didn't drag race no more until this accident, and went through, rehabilitation and, a few years of that, getting used to my leg. And then that's back when I started looking for a car, to build to start racing again.
Hmm.
I mean, if it wasn't for life getting in the way, and having a family, I would have kept right on through drag racing, but it just wasn't in my cards.
Yeah, I mean, it happens, you know.
Yeah, yeah, it happens.
And you have a what year? It's a Fox body, right? A
Yeah,
Mustang Fox body.
88. Well, it's a 1988 Fox body. It's it's actually a ex Virginia State Police car. It's still got the little hole in the A pillar, where the spotlight was at the driver
Very
door,
cool.
and it's a notchback. It's got the trunk lid, and it ain't got the hatch.
Yeah, yeah, it's
But it's
definitely
a
yeah. All the patrol cars they gave them the trunk lid in the
yeah,
back.
yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah.
were too
It's
worried about that glass. That's too much glass if it
yeah, oh,
breaks.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's got also gives them a bigger target, I guess, if you will, to
Oh,
aim at.
100%. Yeah, yeah. Plus, I mean, as far as storage goes, I mean, it's a much bigger trunk, a much bigger space to put stuff. You know, they have a
Oh
whole lot of
yeah,
like
yeah,
utility
yeah.
stuff that goes back. I mean, it's a Batmobile. We'll just call it what it is. You
Right,
know,
yeah, yeah. A lot.
that whole
It's a
trunk.
lot more room. A lot.
Yeah, absolutely. That hatch, you're not going to fit a whole lot back there. It's just a little
No.
flat area, and that's it.
Yeah,
You know.
that's it.
Check out Backwoods Road. Got a speeding ticket from a Fox body in West Virginia. Yeah, attaboy.
Yeah. It's
Hey,
not.
what's up, Nitro? How you doing, brother? Good seeing
That's
you.
not something hard to do, really, in a Fox body. Which those things, when they come out, factory, they was like 230 horsepower, and then that was some pretty good horsepower coming out in stock, stock form.
Yeah. What size engine does it have in it? It's a pretty interesting story. Go ahead and tell them right there. That's why they call you Chevy Power. What is it?
Five
Go ahead.
five
I'll shut
five.
up.
It's a it's a the block is a World P block, which is World Products, and it's based off of Big Block Chevrolet. The strippers in the back, but it's a 555 cubic inch, uh, based off of Big Block Chevrolet, and it's got Brodix, big Brody heads, which has had right at $6,000 worth of CNC ported, polished, all the good stuff. Intakes port matched. It's got the gas ported nitrous pistons, they're diamond. Uh, it's got a custom ground comp cams in it, lifters. It's a very well built car. I mean, even the
So it's a
motor,
full build then, like
it's a
full
full,
tear out
yeah, it's a
and
full blown race car. Yeah, it's been
okay.
tore out. It's been mini tubbed in the back. Didn't go with a complete full tub for a big tar. I kept it small tar and put the mini tubs in the car. They're about 12 inches wide. It sets the inside of the back fenders, the inner fender, in about 12 more inches.
Okay.
You
What
got
kind
a
of rear
nine.
ends it have?
It's got a 9-inch Ford
Okay.
with the 468 gear, and it's got a full spool, 35 spline axles. It's got roll cage. It's got the it's a well built car.
Nice. How long did it take you to put all like? I mean, I know a car is never complete. I get that, but I'm
Yeah,
saying to the point of sitting in my driveway as a state trooper car to let's race.
a car like this, MOL, bringing it in stock form, the tear out is pretty quick. You're ripping seats out, you're tearing carpet
Oh yeah.
out, all that goes pretty quick. The metal trunk lid comes off, the metal hood comes off, and all that's fiberglass now. But to do this build with the roll cage, getting the motor built, at the rear end, the transmission built, it's also got a power glide, 2-speed power glide in it
Okay.
with a trans brake. If I would have had all the money up front, I probably could have built that car in about 8 months to a year. But I would buy a part as I got a payday, or I'd buy a part when I had the extra
Sure.
money,
Yeah. Like the
buy
rest
this
of us
part.
would.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So about right at 2 years.
Okay. So that's pretty quick. I mean, considering like you're saying, unless you have sponsors and shit like that that are actually
Exactly.
throwing parts at you, it's a little different, you know.
Exactly.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's pretty fast, you know.
Yeah. It was pretty quick. It went pretty fast.
Nice. You do a lot of the work yourself?
Uh, yeah, a lot of it. Yeah. The roll cage was done. The rear end was done. I done the shocks and the mounts and all that under the rear end. The transmission was had it done, but other than that, pretty much, yeah, it was, yeah, on me.
Nice. Nice. All with one leg too. That's what I love
Yeah,
about it. I got to keep hitting on that just because it's so badass to me. You know,
yeah,
you see it. Yeah, of course, there's other amputee drag racers out there, but hey, not right here sitting here talking to me right now. So
right,
hey, you
yeah,
know, so whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Freaking good seeing you, brother. Red Dog, what's up, brother?
What's up, Red Dog? I can't
So,
see chat right now, so I'm sorry. So
oh, I
if
got you.
I don't want
Yeah,
nobody to
Red
think
Dog.
I'm ignoring or anything, but I just can't see chat. I might be able to click a button here or something. Maybe be able to see it. I don't know. Yeah, I got it
Let's
pulled
see.
up now. I see Pink Pigeon there now.
Yeah,
What's
there's
up? What's
Ralph. He just
up,
popped in.
Pimp?
Ralph just came in.
What's up, Pimp?
That actually right there is a great question. I was getting ready to ask you that as well. You said you have two speed, like, so I'm guessing, is that like what, like slapstick, or like, or do you have a clutch? I mean,
No, no, no. It's fully automatic.
okay,
I've got it set 2 ways. I can either, I can set with my MSD box. I can set it with the chip, with the RPM chip, to where it electrically off a solenoid behind the shifter. If I want to shift at 6,000, I'll set that MSD to 6,000, and when that RPM hits 6,000 on the tack, it'll shift immediately. But if I'm on a bad surface, which like no prep racing, I usually shift it by myself to where
okay,
I can manage it better. If I need to shift a little faster to get the wheel speed slowed down a little bit, or whatever I got to do.
gotcha.
It's going how good the roads are.
Okay, that's what Nitro was saying. He's like two-speed power glide. That's what you were saying, though, right?
Yeah, 2-speed
Yeah,
power glide. Sorry about that. Tongue
yeah,
tied. Yeah, 2-speed.
yeah. That's what I mean. Because you would think a lot of people it's like two-speed. What I don't. It's like, well, I mean, you're going a quarter mile, you know. So
I race at eighth miles when I
or
race
eighth
right.
mile.
8 mile, yeah. But a lot of people run, quarter mile, but usually
Yeah,
when
we
those
have a
type of
quarter here.
racing, yeah. The closest quarter to me is Clay City, and it's right at pulling my car about 2 hours and 35 minutes. That's the closest one we've got.
Right on. As far as transport and stuff like that goes, I mean, you are you fully set up, trailer and all that stuff? I
I'm
mean, I'm
no,
assuming you.
buddy. I'm a backwoods hillbilly redneck, and I'm still with the open trailer and pulling up on
Yeah,
an open
I
trailer,
mean,
and you can see the
hey, it
cars
gets
that
it
go down the
there.
road. Exactly,
Absolutely, it gets it
exactly.
there. That's all that matters, man. Plus, it looks way cooler whenever you're going down the interstate. You know how many people are gonna slow down and be like,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just watch it go by, you
yeah.
know?
You get a lot of stare downs. Stop at the gas station. People come up to you and ask you about it. Is it for
Oh,
sale? And
it's for sale.
yeah, you hear that a whole
No.
lot. Is it for sale?
It's like, well, I mean, money talks, you know. I mean, what you talking about?
Right.
All right, let's say money's no object. What do you want for
Shoo.
it?
Hmm. Go
Sentimental
like,
value alone is probably through the
yeah.
roof.
Yeah, he's part of the family.
Exactly.
Are you
Yeah.
interested? Are you interested in another woman? Maybe.
I
Might let my wife
mean,
go before I let him go.
yeah, exactly. Yep, yep, yep. Yep.
No,
No, that's
it
total
would.
hypothetical.
I mean, if I had to build that car in today's world, it would take well over $40,000 the way it's built.
Yeah.
Cause the motor alone, and this ain't no joke, the motor alone, I have over 22,000 just in the engine alone. Nothing
God.
else. But it's built to take a lot of horsepower, nitrous. So it's built to on motor alone, it right at 970 horsepower just on motor.
Holy moly, man.
On a 200 shot, you're probably looking right around 1200 ish, 1220. I've never downloaded on nitrous. I'm not even running at a track on nitrous, just on the street.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had a short story here. We was up a place we call, everybody calls Mexico, but we got a place
Yeah.
in Johnson, I believe it was Johnson County. It's an old prison up on the hill, but the prison has since shut down, and up there behind the prison's an airport. But before you get to the airport, there's a big, long, straight stretch. I mean, it goes for a mile. And at the end of it, it's got like a big circle drive, like a cul-de-sac or something would have. That's where everybody
Mm-hmm.
parks. So we went up there to test one night. And I've got a real good buddy, Brandon, that he races too. And we got up there that night, and I couldn't get my MSD box wasn't talking to my nitrous controller. They wasn't getting along that night for some reason. Now the nitrous controller, what I'm saying when I talk about a nitrous progressive system is I can if I've got a 200 shot jets in my car, and if I want to leave at say 20% of that 200 shot, I can set that and just only leave on say 40 horsepower of nitrous. And
Yeah.
I
So it's not the
actually
full brunt of it.
right, and I can have it come in as I'm going down track. If I want to come in, have it all in within a second or 2 seconds, whatever. But I couldn't get it to work. So what we done, we zeroed the progressor out. I flipped my main switch on the back of the car, turned the power off to the whole car, turned it back on, got the nitrous bottle, turned the heater back on the nitrous bottle, and we forgot to put the progressive back in to leave on 20%. So here we are leaving. But just so happened I had 100 shot. That's all I had in it was 100 shot. So we left on a full 100 shot of nitrous, and this ain't no. I've got a video of it. I think on my channel. You can't hardly see it. It's a blur where it takes off pretty fast, but it actually brings the two front wheels off the ground, and the back driver tar comes off the ground. Three tars come off the ground. I've got what they call an anti-roll bar under the rear end that keeps the car straight as you're leaving. It won't let
Yeah.
it twist. The G-body shuffle they call it.
Yeah.
It won't
Absolutely.
let it.
Three
Yeah,
wheel.
it won't exactly. It won't let it twist. But I unhooked it up there that night to test to see if it helped on that street. But when I let go of that button, man, I just left on like 2,300, 2,400 RPMs. All left on. But when I let go of that button, that nitrous solenoids opened up. It woke it up quick.
My God, man. I want to say what's up to Cowboy real quick. What's up, Carolina Cowboy? How you doing, my brother?
That fella right there's trouble. He's always been trouble.
Yeah, we'll keep our eyes on him, you
Somebody,
know.
somebody, somebody block Cowboy. We put him out of here. No,
Nitros
I like
progressive
Cowboy.
systems are very nice for tuning.
Oh yeah,
Um,
oh yeah.
Nitro also has a that's another channel you guys go follow. Please go check his stuff out, man. He has like all these awesome like RC cars and stuff like that. He's also got a Camaro that's, I mean, it's Bumblebee basically, you know, which he hates when people say that 'cause he's like,
Yeah,
Bumblebee is not, it was a different year, and it's, you know. But
yeah,
either way, Nitro, what is your Camaro? He'll tell us in the comments. But man, that thing is badass. I highly recommend. Drop your link in there if you would. But yeah, y'all go sub up to him. He's got some really awesome content. But um, yeah, that's why he's been hitting us with the, you know, what about this? What about that?
yeah,
What do you run, just out of curiosity? Like, do you run slicks or radials or what?
yeah. I run
Or both?
slicks.
Slicks. Okay.
2810. Yeah, 2810 5.
Okay. Mickey Thompson, I'm assuming.
Hoosier.
Hoosier. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Right on, right on. What's up, Miss Harley? How you doing? And let me see. Who else
And
just came in?
those tars,
Deerfield.
the slicks back 2 years ago, you could buy a set of slicks shipped to your door at $421 from where I get them from at Chris Barker Trailer Sale. Now shipped to your door like 870. They've went up that much in 2 years.
Man, COVID, I think, had a lot to do with a lot of that stuff, you
Yeah,
know? And
yeah,
I
I
don't
do
want to be
too.
like get on conspiracy theory crap, but I mean, dude, it seems like everything car wise anyway went up because everybody started doing car stuff during
Yeah,
COVID.
yeah,
And like the prices just went way up through the roof and stayed that way, you know, and tires
yeah.
especially. We just got tires on our little, you know, Hyundai, and man, that thing, I couldn't believe how much it was. That was insane.
Oh, outrageous. Stuff
Yeah,
is
and they're just
outrageous anymore.
Yeah, they're just basic little tires. That's all they are. Nothing special, you know.
Yeah,
That's what. Yeah, he said the slick's gone sky high.
they
Yeah,
have.
that's crazy. That's what he was. That's what Chevy was saying. Is he used to have a S10 as well. So my uncle used to have be big into drag racing. Chevy now. My uncle is building the S10 back. Yep, that's the same thing he was
Yeah,
saying before.
I have the Squire body. It was 93, the last year of the Squire bodies.
Yep. I had a good friend of mine that had a what are they called? Oh man, Chevy Love. You remember those little
Oh
trucks?
yeah, yeah. The buddy I was telling about a while ago with that we was tuning my progressive system. He
Mm-hmm.
just traded his off to a Mustang, and it was a bad little Love. It was a Chevy Love.
Yeah, that man, those little loves, those things are badass. They're light, they don't weigh anything.
Yeah,
People put these monster engines in them,
yeah.
and my God, they fly. I mean, you could literally go to the back of one of those little trucks and pick it up off the ground,
You
and
can.
it's it's crazy. What's up, CTG? Good seeing you, brother.
CTG.
CTG now. Well, that's awesome. So, I mean, what do they? What do the folks say whenever they see a one-legged drag racer? They have some pretty strange looks. Like at first, I imagine now it's probably old hat, but at first I imagine they had some pretty strange stuff to say.
Are you talking about seeing me like at a track with the
Hmm.
leg, or is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly kids. Kids would come up to me, and look at it, and you know how kids are. They're pretty much amazed when they see something like that. But as far as like people would walk up to me and ask first, they'd say what happened. I have to explain to them, what happened, and well, how do you race? Well, how do you give it guys, or it's just stuff like that. And
Hmm.
actually, it's still like having it's even though I can't feel the pedal, I can still, with sensations from my nub, tell when my foot stops, I'm on the floor.
Yeah.
And once it's on the floor, I know it's not coming up unless it has to. If I'm starting a pretty high wheelie, I'll try to shift out of it. If that don't work, then I'll let off of it. That's the only backfall that I've got to having one leg on the pedal leg, the fuel pedal, is most people can that's got a leg, if this makes any sense, they can feather the pedal. They
Hmm.
can barely let off of it a little bit and go back on it real easy.
Yeah.
I
You
can't
can.
do that. Yeah, I can't do that. It's either on or off
Yeah.
because I can't tell how much I'm letting off. I could pull my leg back, but I don't know how much the fuel pedal's coming back.
Yeah, that's a lot of people don't understand is our ankles, it's like this. It moves
Exactly.
like this.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, we don't have
No.
this pleasure of doing this anymore. So
Yeah.
it looks like that all the time, no matter
Yeah.
what.
Yeah.
It just stays stuck straight out.
That's it. That's a good way to put it. With you yourself, you've got the above knee, so
Hmm.
yours is a little bit more complicated than mine, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah.
Which having a leg is having a my prosthetic. I call him prosthetic doctor, but my prosthesis, he lost his right foot due to a lawnmower accident when he was a kid, but he just lost
Wow.
right above his ankle. I mean, you go to your ankle and touch it, and right there where you barely can feel the top of your ankle is where his lost his at. And when I first met him, he just popped his foot off and stood there on his nub. I'd have never knew that he even had a fake foot. But I would say, his sensations and things is just like ours, even though you've lost so much more, and I have as well. I'd say he's got the same problems we do.
Yeah, I mean, I, there's a whole lot of misconceptions about the having one foot and that kind of stuff. And
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, even I get asked a lot, it's just like, how do you drive with that? How do you do it? Well, for me, it's, my right foot. I still have my right foot. So, I mean,
right,
everything is it's the same as you would drive, but it's still
right,
funny that you would get questions like that. It's like, how do you still drive with, it's like,
yeah,
it's very easy to do. It's the same way you drive. Unless you like hit the pedal with your left foot, and then if that's the case, and I don't ever want to be behind you because you're
yeah.
gonna be sending people through the windshield.
Yeah, when my nub first healed up, which I had a lot of trouble with my nub. I mean, I've showed you some pictures before how the skin had died out and turned black and it just hardened up. And once that got healed and my cast come off my left leg to where I could actually get up, on a sliding board, slide over to a wheelchair and stuff like that, where I can go outside. I actually had a 1988 Ford F-150 standard shift. I said, I'm going to try to drive that truck with one leg. And all I had was my left foot, my other one's cut off at my knee. I
Hmm.
got my wheelchair there beside that truck and I lifted myself up in that. I pushed the emergency brake, pushed the clutch in and started it. I put my left foot on the brake, let off the emergency brake. I was parked a little hill. It rolled back enough. I hit the brake. I pushed the clutch in. I put it in first gear. And I eased on that clutch, and I took off right down the road going to my father-in-law. He just lived like a quarter mile down below me. So here I go down through there. I go from the clutch with my left foot to the gas with my left foot. Then I go back to the clutch, change gears with my left foot. Then I go back to the gas and give it gas with my left foot. I go want to stop. I just throw it up neutral and I hit the brake. He
Yeah.
didn't know. He didn't know what to think when I pulled in down there at his house that day. I could see the look on his face. Like he's like, how is he driving that truck with one leg?
It's pretty sweet once you get going down the road and don't have to switch gears. But the second you pull up to a red light,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah, that's awful. Yeah, that's awful.
you're sitting there coming up to like an intersection. You're like, stay green, stay green, stay green.
Yeah,
Oh my God, stay
yeah,
green.
please.
Damn it.
Uh,
Yeah. Because that'd be a nightmare as soon as you have to take off, especially if you got to take off on a hill. Oh my God.
now that would be probably pretty much impossible. That'd be really hard to do unless you had four low, or you could just pull the four low lever back or something, and
Hey,
you
yeah, I
know,
didn't think about that.
yeah,
That's true. You maybe can drive with a forearm crutch. I heard somebody say that they tried that one time. I was just like, it is like, yeah, that don't work. It was just like I needed to move a car out of the way. I needed to back a vehicle out of my driveway so I could get my car out. And it's like, well, I can do it. I can drive stick, no problem.
yeah,
So they
no
tried,
problem.
And he's like, I was literally there with like a forearm crutch, sitting there going like this, trying to pull off and like, let off the clutch with a forearm crutch and everything. He's just like, it was. He's like, dude, it did not work. He's like, I was sitting there just like jumping the thing, like in the driveway. Dude came out was just like, get out, man. Just look,
uh, I could just think of yourself watching somebody else do that. How crazy people are. They don't realize. You know, it's hard to explain. When we do stuff like that, how hard that it is.
Yeah.
To just try to do something like that. You can't
The little
explain it.
things.
It's the small things, yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause people take a lot of that stuff for granted, and like small, small, small things, and
Yeah.
it can be anything from, you know, getting up in the middle of the night, going and taking a piss to, you know, taking a shower or something, I don't know. It's just the most minute things that it's hard as hell for us to do. We can still do it, and damn it,
Yeah.
we do it. But at the same
Exactly.
time,
Just walking down a
it's
set of stairs, walking up a set of
yeah,
stairs. Something as
yeah,
small as that, it's we take a lot of stuff for granted.
yep. I've stopped at so many steps before. I mean, I do it pretty much every time. If there's a group of people, it's just like y'all go ahead.
Yeah. I'm gonna be a
You know,
minute.
yes, I'm gonna. Y'all gonna be waiting if I have to go. Like you're gonna be waiting behind me. So, but yeah, I do that with my daughter all the time. Like, just hold on just a second. Just give them a
Yeah.
minute. Let all these people go, and then me and you will go.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Um, well, that's awesome. So you still, I mean, you still have your car and everything now, right? Like you
Yeah.
still, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it's like I'm saying, I know you still have it, but I mean, like you could, it's in still like running condition. Like you could get out there and fire it up right now if you wanted to.
Once I put the MSD box back in, I can. Yeah. Good.
Gotcha. Sweet, sweet. Are you going to get back into like taking it back to the track and
Oh
getting
yeah.
back? Yeah. Okay. 'Cause
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
know you said you kind of got out of it for a little while. You was kind of just doing something,
Yeah.
taking a break with it.
Again, life got involved. Once
Yeah.
again, you got grandbabies. Got 5 grandbabies, and they love to go watch it. They love to watch it. But again, the price for me to go, if I wanted to go to Clay City and race, so my trucks will have to have diesel, which you're looking at about $70. Race fuel is $12 a gallon. You're looking at about 10 gallon of it.
My God.
Nitrous is $50 a pound, and I got to have at least 20 pounds of that. Plus, you're buying at the race. You're looking at probably a couple $100 to win $1,200. It don't make no sense, even though it's fun to go do it. But I ain't got that kind of money to just throw into it like some of these guys do.
Right. Again,
But
sponsors. If you have
spot.
sponsors,
That's what I was getting ready
big
to say.
difference.
I know a guy I've raced with him a whole lot that Renegade now sponsors Always Fuel, Nitrous Express sponsors Always Nitrous. And he's even got a guy now that pays his entry fees. So he's only out what diesel it costs him to get there and back, really. So that's a no-brainer.
Okay.
I would go every weekend, if I had something like that going on.
God. That's what, yeah, Nitro was saying. Renegade fuel is good fuel.
It is. It is. I run it for about 4 or 5 years. Renegade makes good fuel.
Yeah. Wow. Um, yeah, I forgot I was going to ask you something. Let's see. Was buddy over in Hinman had a 68 Charger he played around with. General Lee Orange, I'm assuming. He sold it to a kid, and then kid wrapped it around. Oh God.
Oh
Yeah, I could
no,
imagine it broke his heart.
no
Especially
doubt.
seeing all your hard work just be
Just
tossed out the window,
yeah, just tossed away.
Yeah, no one. It don't mean shit to them. I mean, they thought it was cool and
Oh
they
yeah,
dug it,
yeah,
but
yeah.
think of how much work you actually put into that, man. My God.
When you put hours upon hours building a car or truck, you respect that car or truck a whole lot more. More it hurts you to get rid of them if it comes to that day that you have to get rid of them. Because I've done it before. The S10 I was talking about in the past.
Mm,
I hated to get rid of that truck, but it just had to go. It wasn't no benefit at the time. It had to go.
I gotcha. With like sponsors and stuff like that, like how does that work as far as like would you okay, like say with sponsors with my channel, with Firmu Eyewear, even with vans, that kind of thing, you have to do it's called product placement, which has,
Yeah,
where like, okay, I'm sponsored by Bulow Prosthetics. Hey, look at there.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that kind of stuff. You have to do this kind of thing. Like do when people get car sponsorships, with race fuels, parts, anything like that, tires, you name it, do they have to you have to go to a certain amount of races per year? Do you have to win a certain amount of like do you have to keep a certain status or how does that work?
Advertisement is a big, big thing when it comes to car sponsorships.
Okay.
When they see you winning a lot, they want to sponsor you. They want to get that name out there. And they do expect you to make, so many races that year. And
Hmm.
obviously they want you to win as much as possible. So yeah, they want you to attend, probably 80% of the races. That's doable, that's drivable to an extent. And they don't expect you to drive to Idaho or California, go to Street Outlaws or anything like that. But
Right.
they want you to attend what races you can that year. But like if you wish to break down, some sponsors hang in there with you if you've won quite a few races.
Hmm.
But that buddy of mine I was talking about earlier, he got a sponsor, but it was pretty much his neighbor. It was a realty place, and all they expected of him was to make every local race here in town, and that he put a magnet of their business on his doors of his truck every other race, and they would pay all of his entry fees that year. So that was a pretty
Very
good deal
cool.
for him. Yeah,
That is awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, so okay, so it still works the same thing, product
about,
placement,
about the same way.
so it's
About the same
yeah.
way.
Okay. So it doesn't really matter if they, if you're whatever, Dale Earnhardt versus the last winning race, the
Right,
last
right.
guy that
Yeah,
places every single race.
yeah, right.
Granted, two different kinds of races, but
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying.
yeah. And a lot of that too around this where I live, the local area. It's who you know.
Oh
Like
yeah.
the guy I was talking about had all his stuff paid. He works on his biggest sponsor. He works on one of their vehicles, helps him build it. He even drives their race car for him. So that's pretty much how he got that sponsorship. The
Okay.
fuel sponsorship, I think he got noticed on the internet. He's got a YouTube channel. I can't think of what his name is at the moment. Uh, but they call him the real McCoy. On TikTok,
Okay.
it's the real McCoy. It's Michael McCoy's who it is. He's got a fox body, notchback like mine, gray. He just last year, I think, went to stick shift. He had an automatic. Then he put the clutch and the stick shift back in it. But he's got one of those. I don't know what they call them. Centrifugal. It ain't the H pattern shifter. It's you just pull it back, you push it forward, and you pull it back. That's how you shift the
Oh, okay.
gears.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's got two rods that comes out the bottom of the shifter, and when you pull it back, it pushes the bottom rod in and switches the gear to second. And when you pull it back, it pulls that. I guess it pushes the top rod forward, or somehow or another how they work. But basically, all he's got to do is he pushes the clutch in when he leaves, and that's all he uses the clutch for. The rest of it, he's on the floor, and you can shift on. He got no synchronizers in the transmission
Wow.
like your everyday car does. You can hold them on the floor and be 7,000 RPM and still shift the shift the gears.
Holy crap. In 10 seconds.
Yeah, And I think G-Force is the one, the transmission he uses, and they sponsor him on transmissions.
Awesome. Yeah, that's badass.
Yeah,
What is the? I saw a dude the other day, and I don't know jack shit about transmissions, so that's forgive me, but I don't remember. I think it was an old Charger he was driving, but his shifters, I say shifters, he had like
yeah,
4 or 5 of them, but he would go to take off and be like
yeah,
wom 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 wom, and like pull each one back.
yeah.
What the hell is that?
That's that's I believe they call him like a Muncie. There's a lot of
Okay.
there's some older model race cars out here still use them today. You first when you pull back, puts you in first gear. Then when you take off, your second. When you pull back at your second gear, your third gear, your fourth gear, and it just keeps right on going. I think they call it, I believe Muncie used to make those, and probably still do. I'm sure Nitro or nobody, somebody knows what they call them, backwoods, or somebody knows.
The
Uh,
Bruno Linko transmission.
Linko, that's what I was thinking of. The Linko, yeah, Linko 5 speed,
Linkos.
yeah, Linko,
Okay. Yeah, yeah, it's Nitro right there.
yeah,
Hey, Buggies, what's going on, brother? Good seeing you. Yeah, like I said, I saw him. He was just ripping through those gears, just bam, bam,
yeah,
bam. But it was each one was a different stick.
right,
And I was like, what in the hell am I looking at? I showed my wife that. I was just like, look at this. He literally's got 5 sticks like through the thing.
yeah,
And then I think over on the other side he had a reverse, like sticking way over, kind of on the passenger
yeah,
side. And I'm assuming that was his reverse because it was kind of like off to itself.
yeah.
So,
Pretty
but that was
much.
man, yeah,
They'll
that was
push, they'll
badass.
push, they'll push all those sticks back forward when they get done racing, and you got that one you're talking about closest to you, and usually you pull it back or push it forward 1 or 2, and then put it in reverse, and the other one being neutral. Whichever which way that shift or reverse shifter, you got to pull it back to go in reverse. If you push it forward, then you're going to be in neutral. Then you, like I said,
Wow.
pull the first one back, and you're back in first gear again. Justin Swanstrom, he's got a big YouTube channel. He raced with one of those Linkos in one of his cars here just recently. He had a Linko. I don't know if it was I guess a 5 speed. I guess some. I know somebody in the chat's going to know if they.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. Lightning Rod was a company that made something similar to back in the
Yeah,
day.
I was
That's
getting ready
very
to say
cool.
that the Oldsmobile Cutlass, I remember, had the lightning rod shifters and what they called the his and her shifters. They had the three like the lightning rod he's talking about. Your first stick would be your go down to the drive, and I think the other 2 sticks would be your first and second. They'd slap them, what you call slapstick out there earlier. You'd slap
Yeah.
them, slapstick. But yeah, that was a nice setup. I like to have one of those Hurst Olds again. Hurst got the 402s in them. It was pretty quick cars back then.
Yeah, the old like the T shifter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, those are badass, man. But yeah, I saw that and I was just like, I'm gonna ask Chevy about that. I bet he knows exactly what the hell I'm talking about. Cause yeah, this guy, man, it looks so like primitive. I don't know if you know what steampunk is, but it
yeah.
looked so like had all the rods and shit like leaning into the
Right.
firewall and stuff. Let me fix my camera. Yeah, there we go. But like all the rods and everything were all exposed and all this shit
Yeah,
and had little guide points. I was like, what in the hell am I looking at? This is badass.
yeah. They look badass when you're looking at them through the window. You got, like you said, all them rods going through your firewall. But
Yeah,
it,
I was
it
like,
but
man, what
each
the hell is
each
this?
each one of them is a gear. And your first, second, third, fourth, and fifth gear.
Yeah, yeah. It seems really super self-explanatory. I mean,
Yeah,
it would just pretty much stay locked into whatever gear it is, and then
yeah.
move on to the next one.
Right, right.
But yeah, I don't know. I saw that and was just like, man, that seems badass. So, in your days of drag racing, has there been any kind of spoiled sports? Anybody that wants to get after it after losing?
They've been
Any
a
fights
cut.
breaking out?
They've been a couple times that people's got pretty bad. Sometimes
Yeah.
I've had they hit the local place. I've had well, I put it this way. I found some screws around my trailer tires, and People, if you go down and you win pretty much all the time, and in your class, you got a couple that would come from far away that would get pretty mad. But
Yeah.
other than just a couple times of that happening, pretty much everybody's just cool, man, just laid back and like we are. Like
Right
me, I
on.
don't care.
That's
I mean,
good.
I don't. You can't go. You want to win every time, but you
Oh
can't
yeah.
win every time. It just don't happen.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't know, like I said, if there was any kind of, because every sport you're in, no matter what it is, like, I
Yeah.
mean, I used to race BMX when I was a kid, and there was, a fight every single Sunday.
Oh yeah.
And you cut me off, you did this, you did that. But granted, that's a group of racers. It's not two people, going
Right.
down the track. So that's a whole bunch of, it was 10 of us all at once. So,
Oh sure.
but granted, drag racing and BMX is two different worlds altogether.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
have you ever had any let me rethink this. Let me maybe I shouldn't be doing this kind of moments. The ones that just scared the living shit out of you. You had any close
um.
calls, I guess?
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Really?
They was one time that it was up to us whether we want to go down the track or not because it had rained the day before, and the water about 400 foot out was seeping up through the concrete. And we knew it. But I told the boy that, I didn't care. We'd go ahead and run it. And he agreed too. But we didn't know which one was going to get the lane. We had to flip for it. So it could have been me getting the lane or him getting the lane. And I was hoping that he would get the lane. But my luck, I got the lane. And going on the staging lane, looking around, like you said, that was one of those times I said to myself, why am I doing this? But I was pretty much stupid and done it, and got down there and lost control, and it turned around on me. Luckily, it was a they was a like a median, just a small like an 8-inch concrete median on each side of the road. That's all there was. There wasn't no guardrails or anything like that to hit. But when you hit one of the medians, you'll tear your tires, your wheels, maybe your rocker panels or something. But
Mm-hmm.
luckily, I got under control of it and got it under control. But yeah, that was one of those times I wish I hadn't went down that day.
Man. Yeah.
By that point, I was already doing over 100. In 400 feet, I'm already doing over 100 mph. And
Yeah.
when you hit that, and them slicks don't like water at all. I just go ahead and tell you that right now. Slicks
Oh
hate
yeah, I
water.
mean, yeah.
So yeah, that was one of those times for sure.
Oh my God, man. So when, like, say if you hit something like that and you destroy the fender or you destroy a door, that kind of shit, I mean, do you have like spare Fox body parts, like doors and fenders and that kind of stuff? Like,
No,
how does that work for you guys?
I would have. Well, some people now has got a lot of extra parts, doors, and like you said, fenders and hoods. But
Yeah, you would think.
like I said earlier, I went to a fiberglass hood and a fiberglass deck lid. You break the hood now, the one I've got, it comes. It's a 8-inch rise, comes all the way back to the window. It almost touches the window. That hood today probably cost you, Lord, I'm gonna say probably $800 to $1,200. I have no spare hood. If I bust it, I got to buy it. But anything on my car right now, I have no extra spare parts for. If I burn my door, my fenders, my quarter panels, or what it may be, I just got to fix it.
Yeah.
New
But
parts, or,
you
or go ahead.
you can't race. Like say if you all right, say you smack the wall and you get that fender off and you get the wheels straightened back up and it's hey, we can run it. the track officials, they won't let you run it without a fender, would they? Like, or
That's
run it without parts, or does it have to be a complete shell?
no, you can absolutely run it. Yeah.
Really?
Now certain places might be different, but I was helping a buddy of mine over here in Isom, Kentucky, the one I was telling you about, Brandon Farmer, the one that was with me tonight with the nitrous ordeal.
Mm-hmm.
He had a black F body, which was my car, but I just had sold it or traded it to him. So we was over at Isom racing and going down a track. Same thing happened to him. He lost control, spun around, and overcorrected too much and smashed the guardrail. Busted the whole front end of that car up, which they're fiberglass anyway. Them F body Camaros are.
Mm-hmm.
So we took it back to the pits and they called for a driver's meeting. He had to go. I said, well, you go ahead. I'm going to jerk the front end stuff off his car. And we'll go ahead. Because it was entered in two different classes that night. It was entered in small tar and big tar. So he went
Okay.
up there and I jerked the front end off. I unhooked the lights. I taped all the wires up, zip tied this up, zip tied, the hoses up. And we pulled back up there and they let us run it just like it
No
was
way.
with no front end on it. It's actually on video on the Nightmare on Your Streets channel.
Okay.
He's a big YouTuber. Virgil is his name. He races. He's got a station wagon. He races the meat wagon. He calls
I love those things, man. Those are
it. Yeah,
badass. I want an old Nova wagon so bad. Like I've wanted
yeah,
one since I was a kid. Like like an old 60s or 70s Nova wagon. I always thought those
yeah.
were just awesome. Or an Impala wagon. I always thought
Oh
the
yeah, I
like
like those
64
Impalas.
or 66 Impala wagon is just that's my
Yeah,
dream car.
yeah. I
You
love I
know.
I love him on Nova, especially the Deuces,
Yeah.
the Chevy twos. Oh, I love that body style.
Yeah. I do too. The big old especially when they're jacked up and get those what are they called? The Kreger oh man, everybody had them back in the day.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
five
yeah.
star.
The five Kragers. Yeah, that's what they're called. Uh, they had another name other than Krager,
Yeah,
but I
I'm
can't think
thinking
of
of
what the name
torque,
of.
but the newer style of wheel that are
Yeah,
out now. American Eagle Torques.
Torques. Yeah, Torques.
Yeah, that's everybody went to those now. That's like the big thing.
Yeah.
Well, right on, man. Well, brother, I greatly appreciate you coming and hanging out with us and just shooting the shit with us about drag racing. This is exactly what I wanted to do is just sit and hang out with you and talk about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's
man.
good to be
Go ahead.
on.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. When we do our wrap up show, at the end, we'll definitely, how you come back on and hang out with
Yeah,
us like you
yeah.
always do. You've been on
I'll
pretty much every one we've had, so
I'll do that, and hopefully next time I'll have some better lighting here where you can see me. I'll have my computer up and running by then, hopefully.
it's all good, brother. It's all good. We
But
all have we've been having computer issues lately, guys, so we do
yeah,
apologize. Both me and
yeah,
Chevy, our computers suck right now, so it is what it is.
definitely.
We're on a wing and a prayer, baby. Wing and a prayer.
Winging a prayer, baby. Which they have to see my ugly mug anyway, so that might have helped the show a little bit.
Oh, get out of here, man. Get out of here with that shit. All right, brother. Well, thank you for coming on again, man, and hanging out with us. As always, I greatly appreciate you. And yeah, you're always welcome to come back and hang out. But you know that you're a good friend of mine, good friend of the show, and many, many, many of these people that are on here now. So,
Hey, I sure appreciate it, Moel.
all right, brother. Well, yep, we'll talk to you very, very soon, my friend.
Peace.
All right. All right, everybody. I greatly appreciate everybody coming, hanging out with us, and just being your awesome selves. I know Chevy had a blast. This is something, like I said, we've been talking about doing for a while, and we had it planned and had everything set out, and we just had computer issues and yada, yada, yada. It just, it is what it is. Modern technology, what are you going to do? So with that, Backwoods 3030, James Collins, my brother. Let me see. Pigeon Mac, good seeing you. Matty Marinera, what's up, brother? Miss Denise, good seeing you as always. Nitro Freak, my brother, thank you for coming and hanging out with us. Let's see here. James Collins, let me see. I think I said that. That's all right anyway. Red Dog, my brother. Lieutenant Pigeon Ralph, good seeing you as always, my friend. Let's see, Carolina Cowboy, my man. Scrolling down, scrolling down. Miss Harley, always good seeing you. Deerfield, my brother, good seeing you. CTG in the house, thank you for coming and hanging out with us. I believe that's got everybody. Miss Blue Eyes, good seeing you, dear. How you doing? Mama Payday, pleasure seeing you as always. Let's see, scrolling down. Buggy's Toe Jam, my brother, good seeing you. Scrolling on down, scrolling on down. Miss Chandelier, hello, dear, good seeing you. All right, the Watcher, what's up, brother? Good seeing you. Good talking to you. All right, see, man. Yep, thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us. And just bearing with us. I know, like I said, we had some hiccups and that kind of thing, and we definitely we got it all worked out now. Everything's good. Everything's operating like it should be. Seems to be anyway. So hey, here we go. Um, Next week we have Miss Stacy Hughes is going to come back on and hang out with us. And then the following week, we have, I believe it is Rick Bonkowski from the Amped Up 211 podcast is going to hang out with us. Fix that. There we go. And he's going to come on and hang out with us for a little bit and tell us all about what he does for the amputee community, that kind of thing. And, just a little bit about his show, that kind of deal, and hopefully drive some of you guys over there to listen to his show. Um, Super, super cool guy. And we're also have not next week, but the following week, we have another doubleheader coming up because we're going to have Mr. Matt Bulow come back on. I remember you guys were, or not back on, but come on and hang out with us. I remember he was going to come hang out with us and tell us his story and all that good stuff before, and he lost his father. So we had to kind of just, again, scrub that, and we're going to try again for a different day. So that's what we're going to do. Not next week, but the following week. That show will be up if it's not already, and you guys will see that very soon. And yeah, we'll be having another doubleheader. So be looking for that. So with that, I hope you guys please, please, please stay happy, safe, sane, motivated. Don't look back. Don't give a crap what anybody else says about you, because at the end of the day, it don't matter. We'll see you next time.